ng Pilipino, galing ng ating lahi na sa palad mo. Ipagpatuloy mo, galing ng Pilipino, galing mong natatag, ipagyamanin mo. Oh, 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 aking galing, ipagpatuloy mo.
Good morning! Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Welcome to the second episode of Tao at Serbisyo, ang galing ng Pilipino. Well, February is almost over because we only have 28 days. And, February is usually associated with Valentine's Day and the anniversary of the EDSA Revolution. But for us, it is also the commemoration of the National Arts Month. You recently heard the message of Consul General Marie Yvette Manson Avalos, where she shared her message for this month. And the theme for this month is Sining ng Pag-asa. Speaking of that, we all know that arts or sining has different forms. It can be painting, sculpture, literature, architecture, cinema, theater, and music. Yan ang paborito nating mga Pinoy. But I'm not talking this time about karaoke music. I'm talking about the more formal music and specifically opera music. As they say, music is a piece of art that goes in the ears and straight to the heart. And that actually applies to our guest for today, who recently got married and met her Mr. Right through music. She is a student currently taking her master's degree in opera performance at the Institute of Music for Theater in Karlsruhe. Ladies and gentlemen, our soprano pride here in Baden-Württemberg, Miss Nikka May Lopez. Good morning, Nikka.
Hello, good morning po sa lahat and good morning po sa inyo. Thank you for inviting me here. Thank you for having me here.
Salamat, Nikka. I know you are busy at the moment, but to tell you the truth, I haven't met Nikka personally, so we will try to get to know each other in front of our audience. So tell us, how long have you been in Germany and what brought you here?
Yes, so I've been here in Germany since 2016. I was awarded TAAD scholarship for studies here in Germany. So I studied that time. I studied ein Ergänzungsstudium in Liedgestaltung Gesang. So that's a course to study art, song performance, and interpretation. And I finished before that I finished my bachelor's degree at the University of the Philippines College of Music.
Or then you applied for a study grant here and got accepted.
Yes.
Wow,
Yes.
Congratulations. So 6 years went by so fast, no?
So
And
fast.
since then, have you been part of any production since you arrived in Germany?
Yes, my first 2 years here in Germany were mostly I participated mostly in concerts. May I share?
Yeah, okay. Ayan, we will see some pictures of your perform. Ayan, thank you for sharing your pictures.
Yes.
So immediately
here,
after you arrived, may performance ka na.
yes, po. So this was a concert in 2016 in a celebration of the 50th anniversary of the first arrival of the Filipino nurses here in Germany that time.
So Bad Homburg is actually in the federal state of Hesse, or in the area of Frankfurt. And just a little bit information to our audience. You might wonder, so the nurses, we have the so-called Triple Win project with the German government. And for those who recently came here, now you know that the nurses in the Philippines have long been in Germany. Way back in the 1960s, there was really a shortage of medical professionals here in Germany, and they tried to source from Asian countries like India, Indonesia, Korea, and the Philippines. So marami tayo rito mga retired na nurses, but I'm glad you were able to share your time with our kababayans immediately after you arrived, and I guess that somehow helped you feel a bit at home, no? To be with the
Yeah, it was
Filipinos.
my pleasure.
Yeah.
It was a great experience. Yes.
Mhm. So good. Other than that, have you been part of ayan? So parang every year may performance ka
Yes.
ha? Wow.
Yeah, so these are some of the concerts that I participated in. They're mostly concerts of art songs and
Mhm.
chanson.
Mhm.
Like these yeah, it's also art songs.
But already singing in German, I guess, no?
Yes, we are supposed to learn how to sing in German and in French and Spanish and
Mm.
yeah.
But what was the as a singing German song? What is the challenging part for you? Is it more of the pronunciation, or because some words are when you have to also breathe, and that I mean, how is it? What's the
those
challenge in singing
those
German
are the
song?
visual technical challenges, but they can be solved using regular practice.
Mm-hmm.
But the most challenging aspect that I had to go through in studying this this art is actually the language itself, because
Mm-hmm.
we have this sort of of the world um, understanding of the world using the culture where we live in. So language and culture, you cannot really separate them.
Yes, yes. They go
So
hand in hand.
yes, so there are parts of the language that one can only understand by understanding the culture and the history, the
Mm-hmm.
folklore
Mm-hmm.
of the place where it had
Yeah, and
the
the
place.
emotions that go with these words, no? You have to be
Emotions
able,
is universal, because
yeah.
I would say it's from we are all humans,
Mm-hmm.
regardless of where we came from.
Mm-hmm.
We all experience similar emotions
Mm-hmm.
that we can sympathize and empathize
Mm-hmm.
with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So the composers, as singers, we work with emotions, not just technique, and also
Mm-hmm.
art, also sorts of that aspects.
Mm-hmm.
We have to understand the human heart
Mm-hmm.
for us
So,
to be able to portray also
yeah, so
what.
there you go. It's not just a matter of learning the music, the techniques, the notes. There's more to it than that, no? Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. So aside from these performances, were you also a part of some production? So okay, now we
Yeah.
see some of your mentors, I guess, na?
Yes. So I have also during my studies, I have also participated in master classes.
Mm-hmm.
In the upper left-hand corner, we see Teresa Berganza.
Mm-hmm.
She is a Spanish mezzo soprano. Is really known.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the right side of the screen, it's my photo with the German mezzo soprano Brigitte Fassbender. And at the lower left is with Dorothea Roschmann. They're all
Mm-hmm.
really great people with huge achievements in their career, and
Mm-hmm.
I learned a lot from them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so
So yeah, good. That's so you learn from the experts, so to say.
yeah, yes, and this
Wow.
is I started to participate in musical theater, particularly in opera. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a production where I sang as Musetta in
Mm-hmm.
the opera of Puccini La Boheme.
Who is Musetta? Tell our
Yes.
audience who is Musetta. Well, La Boheme is actually the Bohemian, which is an opera in 4 acts based on Henry Murger's 1851 novel, which is essentially a collection of vignettes portraying the young Bohemians living in the Latin um, French Quarter in the 1840s. No?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So you are the Musetta,
Yeah.
Musetta.
Musetta. Yeah,
Yeah.
Musetta is this coquettish lady to whom the Bohemian painter Marcello is really, really in love with. She works as an entertainer for men, using her charms and talents to work for money.
Well, we know the definition. Yeah.
Yes, we know.
So a feisty lady. So seems to be a feisty lady from the way you portray her. No?
Yes.
Okay. So other
Oh.
than Moseta, have you also done other roles?
Yes. So
Anna
here
Rai.
here I portrayed the role of Anna Reich in
Mhm.
the German opera of Otto Nicolai, entitled Die lustigen Weiber von Windsor,
Mhm.
or the Merry Wives of Windsor from William Shakespeare's
Yeah.
work.
Mhm.
Yes, so
So
we
I
can
can
see
see,
in this,
yeah,
yeah.
I can see the plastic follies.
Yes. So we can guess in which time this production was.
Pandemic, right?
Yes, definitely.
Uh-huh.
So
So,
it was a
okay.
challenging production,
Mhm.
but using the pandemic, the regulations in the pandemic, it is still possible to produce a very creative work of art and theater.
If there's a will, there's a way, sabi nga, di ba?
Yeah.
So, okay, so the Merry Wives of Windsor, and then is there another one that so that
Yes,
those are two already.
correct.
That we know. We're more familiar with
Yes.
this one.
Yes, this is in this performance I sang as Cleopatra in the
Mhm.
Italian opera of George Friedrich Händel.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it was
Julius Caesar
also,
in English, no?
yes.
Mhm.
So of course there are
Okay.
historical aspect to this performance as well.
Yes, right. No?
Yes,
Oh,
so
okay. Wow, this looks interesting. 50
yeah.
minute mono opera. Wow.
Yeah, so this was the latest big production I was in.
Mhm.
It's La Voix Humaine, the human
Mhm.
voice,
Mhm.
composed by Francis Poulenc.
Mhm.
This opera is originally composed in French,
Mhm.
but I performed it in German. Um,
Okay.
yes, so it is a 50-minute opera that revolves around um, an evening of a woman who's recently left by her ex-husband
Mhm.
alone,
Mhm.
and she's the whole opera is the um how do I say it in English?
Her
Unterhalt.
agony.
No, her Unterhaltung.
His
Her
discussion or
discussion, or
yeah.
her phone call with the ex-husband.
Mhm.
Um
50-minute
yeah.
long. Okay. Oh my God. I don't know what is more tear jerking. The experience of being left behind by the husband for singing a 50-minute song in German. That must be really difficult.
Yeah, but I felt as well in the performance, when you're already inside the performance, when you're
Yeah.
already doing it, you don't think about the time for some reason.
Yeah.
You're just going with the flow of emotions
Mhm.
of the story, of the happenings in the performance. So didn't really feel like 50 minutes
Wow,
when I
but
did
that's
it.
really a challenge. And if you were able to do that,
Yes.
so you're
The
basically a
work.
solo performer, nobody else. And were there audience also, although or because of the pandemic?
Unfortunately, it was the time of the second or third lockdown here in
Mhm.
Germany. So we have been constricted to only let in a few handful professors.
Oh, how lucky are those professors, I must say. So how did they find it? I'm sure they made a standing ovation.
Yes, so I received positive feedbacks, and my teacher cried at the end.
Oh, well, that's it. As they say, opera, you either like it or you don't like it. And when you like it, it's inevitable that you would get emotional, no? So,
Right.
wow. Okay, what's some achievement there? Okay, but other than that, performances, taking master's class and all. Next question, do you get a life? Do you still get a life? Or, I mean, coming in
Barely.
Germany after you've only been here for 6 years, and with all those achievements and then still studying, um, do you still have time to, I mean, you're young and active, and I suppose there are so many good looking out there also in cars, so good looking men. I heard that you recently got married, fortunately.
Yes.
Tell us about Mr. Wright, and how did everything
Yeah.
happen in the course of learning music?
Yeah.
Medyo sismosa kami. Share us naman a bit of your love story.
Yes. So this is my husband.
Ah,
Yeah, we met
is
here in Karlsruhe.
Japanese or Filipino?
He's
Or
half
mix?
Japanese, half Filipino.
All the while I thought he's Japanese. Really?
No.
Yeah.
Yep. We speak in Tagalog.
But he has long been in Germany?
Sorry?
He has long been in Germany, or bago lang din siya?
No, he's been here in Germany for more than 10 years.
Longer than you.
Yes. He studied already here. He transferred here in Germany with his family when he was a teenager, and he stayed
But
here
he's not
since
into music, or is he?
No, he's an engineer.
Mhm.
During the time we met, he was finishing his master's degree in electrotechnic, electric engineering, and yes.
Oh, speaking of that, I actually would like to call on all we have a group of nurses here, but I have yet to see a group of engineers. You should come out, people, and make yourself a group. It doesn't have to be an official, but just form a group so that we could also be proud of all our Filipino engineers here in Germany. So Mr. Wright, and I'm glad that you were able to, wedding in Denmark. Bakit sa Denmark? Bakit hindi sa Germany? Well, good question,
Yes.
but
Yes, getting married in Denmark was bureaucratically a lighter work.
that's a diplomatic way of saying it.
Yes.
Well, I'm happy that you were somehow able to do this part of your personal life before you get so immersed in your professional life.
Yes. In this profession, in this career, one would really, really need support from family and friends. So without them, it's impossible to survive.
Yeah,
I was like,
well, that's true, no? And as you can see, love moves in mysterious ways. So I can somehow relate to that. Did you expect to meet somebody here that soon after 6 years?
no, no. I was very focused with the studies and looking for engagement. So ibang
In the end,
engagement.
and in the end, you got engaged in a different way, but that's also good. Okay, so going back, so you are still studying and almost done, I guess. Any other production events or production in the works?
Yes, I am also preparing for a production at the Badisches Staatstheater. It is a production of Verdi's Aida. It will be performed before the summer, but of course, because of the pandemic, yeah.
Well, we hope everything is question mark these days, but
Yeah.
let's hope that things would get better and we get to do the things we plan to do, even for a short window of time, for summer. Yeah, right. So thank you for sharing that. But what about thank you for the photos. Have you got any other to show, or that's it? Ayan. So thank you, Nika. So what about Filipinos? Do you still get to mingle with some Filipinos? I suppose hindi na, no? Because of your schedule.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, no.
But you
So
get to
my
meet
time
them. You get to meet some of them.
I meet, yes,
Yeah.
I meet my Filipino friends here. I meet them for para makikain. Yan tayo.
Filipino food, no? Do
Yes.
you cook, by
Yes.
the way? Do you
Yes,
cook?
yes, me and my husband, we cook really, really often.
Ah, that's
Yeah, we
good,
love
no?
to cook.
Filipino food,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
so any advice? I mean, you came from UP, and I'm sure there are also other Filipinos watching us, and maybe not exactly music students, but they plan to also apply for some grants in Germany. What are your word of advice or tips in terms of, well, first of all, how, when, where, who, what should they know? What do they need to know?
Yeah, I also have friends who are interested in taking up studies here in Germany and Europe.
Mhm.
I would say first and foremost, it would really take time for learning the language.
Mhm.
It also depends on where you want to study, particularly here in Germany, because let's say in the big cities, you can converse with people, you can work with people, speaking to them in English.
Mhm.
But like for example, in the city where I am in, um, people rarely speak in English, so
Yeah.
it's a very very huge advantage if you learn the language first
Mhm.
until the conversational proficiency,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then also take part in master classes if you have the resources.
Mhm.
Invest on that, because if you really want to establish a career here
Mhm.
or a slot here in Germany or in Europe in general,
Mhm.
it's I would really really emphasize on taking up enrolling on
Mhm.
master classes,
Mhm.
for you to get immersed with the culture, with
Mhm.
how music sounds here, because of course we Filipinos, we learn a lot from where we study.
Mhm.
um for example, I would not say that the educational system in the Philippines is not inferior. I have learned a lot, but to learn something from where it came from is also something. It's a different perspective, because
Mhm.
you learn from the culture where it came from,
Mhm.
and also you will get to meet people who have different perspectives,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you learn a lot from them, also
Mhm.
from different cultures and so,
Mhm.
and you will can establish friendships and connections with them that might help you in your future career.
It widens your horizon, so to say, so you're not
Definitely.
just limited to one culture, but with
Definitely.
with more perspective and other views, then you can also perfect your craft, so to say. Well said, Nika, and I totally agree with you on that. No, as the Germans would say, "Von nix kommt nix." So if you really want to achieve something, you have to work hard for it. Give it all your input, good inputs to have a good output. Nothing comes easy in this world, and I personally believe that if you want something so bad and you work hard for it, the forces of the universe conspire to make you happen, to let that happen. And on that note, we would like to thank you, Nika, for your time. Good luck on your thesis
Thank you
defense, I
as well.
suppose. No? But please stay for a while before we close. Nika is going to also share us her beautiful voice and music. And thank you for joining us for this episode of Tao at Serbisyo, ang galing ng Pilipino. We'll see you next month for yet another interesting guest, which I will hold the name for now to keep you in suspense. Thank you, Nika, and we are looking
Thank you so
forward
much.
to hear your beautiful music.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Salamat, Nika. Bye.
Galing ng Pilipino, galing ng ating lahi na sa palad mo ipagpatuloy mo. Galing ng Pilipino, galing mong natatag ipagyamanin mo. Oh, 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 oh. Aking galing ipagpatuloy